up, everybody? Another episode on the Phil Hodges Experience. Today we're going to take a step back in time and see a video I was posted roughly a month ago from the newest leader of the House, who is a conservative. His name is Mike Johnson. And I guess he's going to grill Attorney General Merrick Garland on testimony from Hunter Biden whistleblowers. Now, for those of you who've been paying attention or have been following me on the channel, which, by the way, a subscription and a thumbs up and the bell icon would be dope, know that Merrick Garland is extremely corrupt. And so on the show, he's going to be stumbling over his words and all sorts of stuff like that. But I want to see what kind of interrogator that Mike Johnson is. So we're going to go ahead and dive right in, and let's see what Mike Johnson's all about as an interrogator. Potential judge, maybe? Although I think technically he's above the judges in general, but I meant like judge, jury, executioner kind of thing. But we'll see.
We'll move to 5-minute questions, and we will start with the gentleman from Louisiana, Mr. Johnson.
Thank you. Mr. Weiss, the rule of law does distinguish our country, but you have not upheld that. You have allowed the rule of law to erode, and that's why 65% of the people in this country have no faith in the Department of Justice under your leadership. They don't trust it. They don't trust you. The reason is because they're witnessing every day a politicized Justice Department in a two-tiered system of justice. For example, they see the DOJ, of course, aggressively prosecuting President Biden's chief political rival, Mr. Trump, while at the same time, they see slow walking and special treatment given to the president's son. That's just a fact that everybody can see with their own two eyes. I want to focus on that investigation of the Biden family.
And Biden's daughters as well. If I remember correctly, he also has a daughter that, like, last year was her third time totaling a car. She drove it into a tree while driving while intoxicated. It was like her third DUI. And I think all they did is, I don't think they gave her probation. I think she just slept in, like, the drunk tank for, like, a weekend or something like that. The Biden family is extremely corrupt.
We have many important questions for you today about that. Let me just get right to the chase. Has anyone from the White House provided direction at any time to you personally or to any senior officials at the DOJ regarding how the Hunter Biden investigation was to be carried out?
No.
Have you had personal contact with anyone at FBI headquarters about the Hunter Biden investigation?
I don't recollect the answer to that question, but the FBI.
He doesn't recollect the answer to that question. Is that what he said?
Investigation.
I don't recollect the answer to that question, but the FBI works.
I mean, like, it should be a yes or no answer. I mean, let's see how he spins it.
For the Justice Department, it's.
I'm sorry. You don't recollect. You don't recollect whether you've talked with anybody at FBI headquarters about an investigation into the president's son?
I don't believe that I did. I promised the Senate when I came before it for confirmation that I would leave Mr. Weiss in place and that I would not interfere with his investigation.
Okay,
I have kept that promise.
All right. Have you had personal contact with anybody at the Baltimore field office on the Hunter Biden matter?
No.
On July 10th, 2023, U.S. Attorney David Weiss told Senator Lindsey Graham, quote, I had discussions with departmental officials regarding potential appointment under 28 U.S.C. Section 515, which would have allowed me to file charges in a district outside my own without the partnership of the local U.S. attorney, end quote. With whom did Mr. Weiss have those discussions?
I'm not going to get into the internal deliberations of the department.
Oh, but you must, sir. This is important for us. We have oversight responsibility over your department, and we need these answers.
As appropriate, necessary for Mr. Weiss to...
That was a very good answer on Mike Johnson. Like, not really an answer, but a response to the other guy Garland trying to sidestep it. I'm going to go back and see that. That was good.
Sir, this is important for us. We have oversight responsibility over your department, and we need these answers.
As appropriate...
Yeah, that oversight... It's like a boss asks an employee, like, yo, I need to know this in order to make decisions that are best for the company. At least that's how I see it, but I look through things through a capitalistic lens.
Necessary for Mr. Weiss to have conversations with the department. I made clear that if he wanted to bring a case in any jurisdiction, he would be able to do that. The way you do that is to get an order signed by the Attorney General called a 515 order. I promised he would be able to do that, and he in his letters made clear he understood he would be able to do that.
Okay. Can you tell us about any briefings or discussions that you personally have had with Mr. Weiss regarding any and all federal investigations of Hunter Biden?
I'm going to say again, I promised the Senate that I would not interfere with Mr. Weiss.
So you have not, I'm just, under oath today, your testimony is you have not had any discussions with Mr. Weiss about this matter?
Under oath, my testimony today is that I promised the Senate I would not intrude in his investigation. I do not intend to discuss.
That's a yes, right? Otherwise, you see how he says no confidently sometimes in the past, and other times he goes about this round away? It's his tell. Like, if I was playing poker, he just told me what his entire hand is. Like, he's the exact same poker player. He doesn't have, he's a one-trick pony.
The internal Justice Department deliberations, whether or not I had them.
Oh, okay. So your testimony today is you're not going to tell us whether you've had discussions with Mr. Weiss.
Yeah,
My testimony today is I told the committee that I would not interfere. I made clear that Mr. Weiss would have the authority to bring cases that he thought were appropriate.
Okay.
Mr. Weiss's
All right.
letter.
Okay, let me stop you.
Yeah, see, he's just going in circles. He's doing the same thing an employee will do to a customer, like somebody in customer service, when there's something else they can do. They're like it's X store's policy. Like, I don't know what you want me to do. They'll do some other complaint. It's X store's policy. I don't know what you want me to do. He's doing the same kind of thing rather than just answering the question with a flat out yes or no. And he's probably doing that because, almost like a judge or a lawyer in a court, he doesn't know if the other guy already knows and is setting him up. So if he tries to lie to cover his ass, and then he has the video evidence or some sort of email or something like that, his entire thing is blown. So instead, he's trying to go to a neutral, walk around, sidestep the answer kind of a question. Gotta look out for that kind of stuff. That shows a sign of sleaziness and nefarious ongoings in the background that he is hiding. He's not letting come to light or allowing, even though he's directly being asked by members from what I believe to be his Congress.
Second time, sir. Are you aware that FBI officials have come before this committee and they have stated that there was a cumbersome bureaucratic process that Mr. Weiss had to go through to bring charges in another judicial district? You know that?
I'm not aware, but that's not true. There's nothing cumbersome about the process.
So those whistleblowers are lying to us under oath? Those whistleblowers are lying?
I didn't say that. Their description of the process is cumbersome is an opinion. It's not a fact question. All I have to do is sign a section.
Let me get to the fact. Mr. Weiss has been the lead prosecutor on the Hunter Biden case since 2018, correct?
I'm sorry?
Mr. Weiss has been the lead prosecutor on the Hunter Biden case since 2018. Now, here's the question.
He's been the lead prosecutor since he was appointed by President Trump.
Okay, let me ask you, why has the Justice Department dragged this investigation out for so long? Does it really take years to determine if Hunter Biden lied on a federal form related to purchasing a firearm?
Mr. Weiss was a long-time career prosecutor.
There, see? Sidestepping again. That's an easy yes-no answer. Because you can just Google articles about the ATF coming in and shutting people down. Like I read a story about this gun salesman, gun owner, whatever you want to call it. Well, owner, yeah, but gun store salesman, who has been operating his business for like 40 years. And then basically the ATF implemented a new system. He did somebody was trying to purchase a weapon. He ran it through the FBI database that they provided him, and then somehow it didn't flag when it was supposed to, and they came and shut his store down. And you're telling me you can't find out the president's son illegally or legally bought a federal firearm? Or not a federal firearm, but a firearm as a federal offense? I mean, like, come on, guys. Like, this is why everybody thinks you're all corrupt, and why we need a vote and for conservatives in general, and get these swamp creatures out of government, along with making legislation to give them terms and lower their salary. Don't make the salary so high because it's going to incentivize greed. So these salaries also need to be slashed. That's what I'm going to do in my city or county if I become mayor, which is kind of a vague end game, or at least be on the city council. to help make sure this kind of corruption doesn't happen in the homeland of Texas, born in the brave. But let's see what... And so far, Mike Johnson, he's doing a good job. A little bit more calmer, not quite as fiery as I like to see. It makes for harder entertainment, like Ted Cruz. But he is bringing up facts, and he's bringing a much more composed, elegant way of interrogating, but not quite as fiery.
And Trump appointed him as...
You're not answering the question. Is that standard procedure? Should it take that long to make such a simple determination?
I'm answering the question. Give me an opportunity to do so.
Okay.
He was charged with that.
He's just trying to waste time. Don't believe him.
That investigation under the previous administration, he's continued. He knows how to conduct investigations, and I have not intruded or attempted to evaluate that because that was the promise I made to the Senate.
The whistleblowers gave us testimony about serious misconduct at the Justice Department in regards to the preferential treatment afforded Hunter Biden. Has your office requested an investigation into that?
There are well-known processes for how whistleblowers make their claims. I am a strong proponent of whistleblowers and a strong defender. We have an Inspector General's office. We have an Office of Professional Responsibility. That is the way in which complaints from whistleblowers should be and are appropriately handled.
I'm out of time. I yield back.
Gentleman yields back.
So once again, that wasn't a yes or a no. That's the thing that annoys me. A lot of these are yes or no's, but just because it's the way U.S. politics works, there's this, like, I forget what they call it, but it's not quite filibustering, but you're answering a question with a non-question, like a sequitur or something like that. Yeah, and it's just super annoying. But this also, once you know how to analyze it, you can see through this BS, you can see when they're invading questions and stuff, and that should be red flags. So you can also use that in relationships. If you're just trying to avoid your direct yes or no question, they're distracting in a lot of ways. And we'll go over that one day on one of my future shows where we're going to do live. Eventually I'm going to be 8 p.m. on Thursdays is when we're going to do, I'm going to have a live, going live this week. Will be my first official one. We're looking forward to it. It's in 2 days, so I got some other filming and editing I gotta go ahead and get to doing. I'm also starting 2 other channels. It's gonna be Phil Hodges TV and then Phil Hodges Fitness. Fitness is just gonna be my fitness journey, while Phil Hodges TV I will be reacting to movies and or TV shows. It's gonna be a little bit in the future before I set those up. Right now I'm focusing on just growing Phil Hodges Experience because I want this to be the bread and butter. The other 2 are just kind of help go out there and expand and just have fun. Right, because I can't be wound up all the time on politics. So if you like this kind of video, please like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, and leave a comment down below and let me know what you think. And with that, this is Phil. We'll see y'all in the future.